Good morning, Valerie Milano with the Hollywood Times. I'm here in Phoenix right now, but usually in Hollywood. And I want to thank my guest, and I'm going to have him go ahead and introduce himself. Thank you so much.
This is Vlad Yudin. I'm the director and producer of documentary films.
Yes, he is. And we're going to talk about that today. Robby Robinson, another Generation Iron film, very, very informative that I was one of the lucky ones to get to watch. And I'm so glad to have the director here. And great documentary.
Thank you.
Considering Robby's legacy, why do you think that he has often been left out of the conversation of the greats of bodybuilding?
I think for different reasons. Robbie is obviously a figure that's respected by the bodybuilders, but sometimes what happens and the era that he came up with and kind of made his name competing, we're talking about 70s, 80s, and a little bit of the 90s, And unfortunately, when time passes, unless you get a caught of the wave of the social media, you often get left out of the conversation. And also, Robbie has been very like he doesn't hold back. If he has something to say, he says it, and it rubs people the wrong way sometimes, and that could be the reason why he was sort of, in a way, I wouldn't say maybe forgotten, maybe just avoided. You know what I mean? Maybe not invited to certain places, but generally speaking, people that in the bodybuilding community, they do have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, my goodness. I was so impressed with this documentary.
Thank you.
I wish that he was here to be able to talk to us. I mean, he's still alive. I don't mean it that way, but I
Mhm.
know that he wasn't able to be here with us this morning. And I want to talk about the 6 steps. And I don't know so much how much you can answer some of these questions I actually had for him, but if you can, I would love to hear it. What, in your opinion, are the effects of the 6 steps on a person's mind and mental strength?
Huge. Actually, mind to muscle connection is one of the steps. I don't want to reveal all of them right now, basically, but Robbie spent his whole life, even when he was a kid, just analyzing, studying his mind and his body, and he became, he's 78 today, right? Right now he's 70 years old. His body is in perfect shape. We just had a photo shoot actually with him last week in LA. He looked amazing. Like he's always ready to basically show up his body. You know what I mean? A lot of bodybuilders are actually not in the condition, but he stays in condition. So over the years, he put his knowledge into these 6 steps that we talk about in the film, and the mental connection to the muscle is huge. Many would argue that it starts with that and kind of ends with that as well. So huge component.
Yeah, well, that's good to know that he's still doing photo shoots, huh? What is he,
Yeah.
what are you guys doing? What are you thinking about doing next?
As far as with him or a different
Yeah,
film?
yeah, with him and the film, actually.
Well, the film is coming out next Friday,
Right.
or whenever this program comes out. Could be this Friday. If you put it out next week. But basically, it's finally coming out. We've been working on it for over 2 years. We actually started working on this film. It was still COVID, believe it or not. Like the pandemic was happening when we started, like 2021. But one of the best parts of the film is when we traveled to Tallahassee, Florida, where he grew up in the swamps, like with his parents. They ran like kind of like a bar, underground bar, and those moments are great because Tallahassee changed so much, since the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. So it was and he hasn't been back there. He moved to California when he was in his 20s, and he never went back. So he was in the 70s now, traveled back for the first time, and it was such an interesting moment seeing him back there, seeing all the changes, and seeing some of his friends actually that he hasn't seen in years, seeing his kids, stuff like that. It's a very powerful moment.
Nice. The story of your why, was so powerful that I just want to thank him for the vulnerability.
Hmm.
Um, has bodybuilding helped him process the emotions from that and life experiences?
I think so. I mean, I think once he fell in love with it, with bodybuilding, I think that became his life, you know. He truly loved it, and he still loves it. Like, he's obviously not in a bodybuilding space right now himself, you know, but he follows it, he analyzes it, he criticizes it. So it's pretty much part of his whole identity, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And then do you think he misses? I'm sure, I mean, we all would, that if we were bodybuilders, misses the aspect of the bodybuilding competition? Or do you feel
Yeah,
like maybe he's thinking that part of my life is over and I'm kind of glad it is? What do you think he thinks?
I think if he could compete right now, he would.
I'd
I
love
think
to
so.
hear that.
I think he loves it. I think he loves it. I think it's in his blood, you know.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, I just want to tell our readers and viewers that they've got to see this film. It's Robby Robinson's Blueprint. And um, I also want to tell our readers and viewers that Vlad here also directed Christie Code Red that the Hollywood Times did a big piece on, and we're gonna put that in this article as read as well as read. And so you guys can link that up on your screens. And I want to thank you, Vlad, for taking the time today to be with us. And how can we find the film? Is there a website? I know it comes out next week. How can we find you and your other work, social media, or maybe you have a website?
Yeah.
Tell us how.
Uh, anybody can go to generation9.com to see all our films, but this film will be released on Apple TV, on Amazon Prime. Basically, anywhere you watch your films, you'll be able to see it there. Amazon Prime, Apple TV, you know, Google TV, Voodoo, you know, all the platforms.
Beautiful. And we're the Hollywood Times Official is our YouTube channel, and hollywoodtimes.net is our website. And hopefully
Yes.
we can meet in person one day and keep up the great work that you do. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
All
Appreciate it.
right. Have a
Bye
great
bye.
rest of your day.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.